devotion to wealth and material gain, often at the expense.
So good afternoon. I'm still dragging myself somehow. I don't know how. I don't know what's really going on, but I'm still dragging myself, to do anything. What I started with was just my stomach, penning, really penning. Not anything to do with, going to the toilet, but just really penning. And I went to the hospital, and then they did some tests. They did a number of tests, and everything really came out good. The only thing that they told me is that you must be stressed, and then you seem to have, you are dehydrated, you have acidic levels high, things like that, but it's all boils down to like me being stressed, kind of, anyway. And I've been feeling okay. My stomach, I don't have stomach pains now, but I'm feeling weak. Sometimes I'll be okay. I would I would feel like I'm okay. But then when I try to do something, I feel weak. Even now, because most of the times I'm just sleeping around. So like now, I feel weak. So, yeah. So you won't see that energy in me coming out tonight, because I'm feeling like I'm just dragging myself. But there are a few things that I wanted to touch on. And one of the issues is, because some things you have been throwing to me, you have been throwing on me, asking me to comment. And yeah, let me comment. After all, what am I doing? So, I keep myself busy reading what is going on back at home, some of the things that you send me. That's how I keep myself busy. Basically, it's you people that engage me. It's you people that keep my life going. And I'm also grateful in that light that some of you are actually quite supportive. Some of you even offer financial, material help. I'm very grateful. I'm really grateful. Now, having said that, let me start on the video that I saw. I am actually starting later, 30 minutes later, because I saw a video of one of the opposition leaders, in Zambia. I'm not going to mention his name, because I don't want it to look like I'm attacking him. No, I don't want to attack him. He's one of the opposition leaders that I like. I like him very much. He's my brother. So I will not come out like I'm attacking him. Of course, one would have said, but okay, if he's somebody that you know, why don't you just call him and talk to him? I am talking about it because it is out there. I was alarmed when I saw his video. I was quite alarmed because in that video, he was suggesting that President Hakainde Hichilema is scheming somehow not to have elections next year. And then he went further to say, we will not have the presidential elections as we do. Things are going to change. So when I saw that, I was alarmed. I'm like, wow, what is this now? Now, what did I do? I had to go. I had to look for the statement of President Hakainde Hichilema so that I can hear it. And I had to hear all of it to get the context in which he said what my brother spoke about. And I think my brother missed the point of President Hakainde Hichilema. I think he missed the point. And I'm talking about it because if I was alarmed, I'm sure some other people were also alarmed by that kind of, by his position, by his statement. So I'm talking about it to kind of reach out to other people as well, that I think my brother missed the point. Why do I say he missed the point? Look, President Hakainde Hichilema, if you, according to the way I understood his speech, he took it like in a dialogue form. He adopted a style of dialogue. President Hakainde Hichilema adopted a style of dialogue with the NGOCC chairperson who spoke. And so he started his speech like he's responding to the issues that the women raised through the NGOCC chairperson. So he was kind of responding. Yes, he had written a speech, but he took it in a way like he was dialoguing, he was answering to her. That is the way I understood it. And from the way I understood it, I think he centered his message more on family. He centered his message more on family. To say, if we have peace in our homes, if we respect each other, whereby the man respects the woman will, in turn, respect the husband and the children. So then from there, he went on to say, look, this is what we have done as a government. He outlined a number of things that UPND has done. From there, he said, look, with all these things that we have done, we need to do more. We need to do more. And particularly where we need to do more is in terms of elective offices. Elective offices. And he said this towards the end. It was the last point. In elective offices, he said, look, you can't say, let's have, I want to be part of, governance, and yet you are sitting at home. Okay? So we need to find a way of making sure that, you know, more women participate in politics. Yeah, I'm paraphrasing according to what I understand. More women coming to participate in politics, and you know, we so that they can be appointed. So that they can be appointed. He was actually alluding to himself that me as a person that is appointing, will endeavor to appoint more women in offices. And but he said, for us to do more, we need to look at ways and means of how we can enhance that. And then, in responding to the chairperson, he says, we have agreed as a nation. We have agreed as a nation. What is this? Women proportional represent, not proportional, 50% adoption. We have agreed in appointing more women. We have agreed. This is what you're saying. He is responding to the chairperson. Okay? Yes, you have said all these things. There are certain things that we have agreed on. Okay? And we need to do more. And that is how he also mentioned, but some of these things, much as we have agreed, we need to amend the constitution. That's what he said. That is my understanding. Much as we have agreed on this, we need to change the constitution. Okay? We need to change the constitution. And he spoke about some of these things that have been already in public domain. And one of those things that have been in public domain, like to support women and youths, it has been proportional representation. And I agree, myself I agree, because I've been part of those debates. I've been part of that agreement where we have agreed that for us to promote more women and youths in parliament particularly, we need to bring in proportional representation. We have agreed. This has been discussed on a number of fora, and this we did during the time of PF. So this is what President Hakainde Hichilema is talking to. We have agreed the 50-50 adoption. It's true, we have agreed. That is there. Okay? Although it has been difficult for political parties to do that. Appointing more women. We have agreed. It is true, we have agreed. But then he goes to say some of these things, for them, even some of these things that we have agreed, like proportional representation, we need to change we need to amend the constitution. That is what the president was saying. I've seen some people are asking to say, who did he agree with? He was talking about what has been happening in the past. Of course, if you want to bring in politics, you can bring in politics, because the UPND, when we were agreeing on these things, they were refusing. Okay, some of these things, like the Bill 10, because Bill 10 brought these issues. Bill 10 brought these issues. And that is what President Hakainde Hichilema is alluding to. Okay? He's alluding to that. We have agreed on these issues. But for us to do these things, we need to we need to amend the constitution. Now, amending the constitution, it is just like Bill 10. It's just like Bill 10. When Edgar Lungu and the PF brought the Bill 10, they didn't mean that we are not going to have elections in 2021. No, that's not what they meant. But of course, the UPND propelled that propaganda. They also said that. They accused the PF, particularly President Hakainde Hichilema himself. He accused the Edgar Lungu that Edgar Lungu doesn't want to have elections. That's why he's bringing Bill 10. That is what they said. Okay? But I know people like to say, no, this is what UPND did. Okay? This is what PF did. But whatever PF did, whatever UPND did, does not justify us continuing in the wrong, us continuing misinterpreting one another, okay? Misrepresenting one another. It does not justify. It doesn't justify us because the PF did this, because Hakainde Hichilema did this. Then we should also do it. Yes, I do agree. President Hakainde Hichilema himself, he was accusing Edgar Lungu. Edgar Lungu is bringing Bill 10 because he doesn't want elections. Now it has come to his time. He has realized that some of these things to be for us to do them, to be done, the constitution must be amended. And he wants us to amend the constitution. And that's why I may not be surprised to see the opposition now coming up and also accusing him of not wanting to have elections next year. However, for me as Chilufya Tayali, I like to be realistic. I like to be sincere. I like to be fair. If I'm calling for fairness from others, I should start being fair myself. If I'm calling for justice, from others, I should start by being just myself. So this is not for me. This is not, some of you will say, hey, no, Tayali, you are doing this. Hey, you are a praise singer. No, I'm not a praise singer. Hey, Tayali, you are doing this so that you can come back home. No, I cannot be a praise singer of President Hakainde Hichilema. I can't be, because there are a number of issues that I have brought out in public domain which have not been fulfilled, which have not been done. There are a number of promises which were made by President Hakainde Hichilema which have not been done. So there is no way I'm going to turn into a praise singer. I can't do that. I will be betraying. I'm not a person that wants to betray my conscience. No, I don't want to betray my conscience. Because it's very difficult for me to betray my conscience. I would rather be wrong, but clear within my conscience. And hear me clearly there. I would rather be wrong, but with a clear conscience. Yes, I can be wrong in a position. I've taken a position which is wrong, but at least within me, I am okay. Than, appear to be right, and yet inside I've betrayed my conscience. Because then I've lost who I am. So I cannot be a praise singer of President Hakainde Hichilema. But I don't want to, because because I'm not a praise singer of Hakainde Hichilema, then I should just be unfair with him. I should just misrepresent him at will. No, I cannot do that again. That is not fair. President Hakainde Hichilema, please. I wish I could be shouting the way I do, but I don't have the energy. But I want to emphasize that President Hakainde Hichilema did not in any way suggest that next year we will not have elections. I think that is not the way I understood it. He did not suggest that next year we're not going to have elections. And at the same time, President Hakainde Hichilema did not suggest in any way that we're not going to have presidential elections as we have it, where we have 50% plus one. No, I don't think he suggested that. At least in that speech. I know he has got some plans that, in that line. I know. But that is not what he suggested in that speech. That did not come up. When he spoke about proportional representation, he spoke about proportional representation the way we have had it in the Bill 10, where somehow we create, positions where we have more women, coming in, not maybe through the electoral process, but maybe through, proportional representation itself, but not to say, no, we are not going to have elections. Because when you say proportional representation, that doesn't mean that you cannot have presidential elections. No, that's not what it means. That's not what it means. I stand to be corrected unless I'm wrong. And that is not the context that we have been discussing it. There is nowhere where we have been discussing it that our proportional representation means that political parties should be choosing presidents. No, we have always said we are going to have the presidential elections, and we are going to have even the elections for members of parliament. But one of the ways that has been coming up is where some people are appointed, are appointed, where we have like to say political parties, maybe they will have this percentage, but then youths this percentage, women this percentage, and then these people are either appointed using some stakeholders or some interest groups, and they go into parliament. That is how I've understood it. I've never had in any fora where we have discussed proportional representation as choosing presidents from political by choosing a political party and then they choose a president. We have never had that. We have never had that, at least from my point of view. So this is not an attack on my brother. It is just to say, to put things in context and to be fair and honest with President Hakainde Hichilema. He didn't suggest that we shouldn't have elections next year. He didn't suggest that we shouldn't have the 50% plus one, at least in that speech, And I'm saying this not because I want to be a praise singer, or not because I want to come back home. I know about my situation. My situation is very bad. I'm not happy about it. Look, I'm not well, and yet I am alone in this apartment, and it's not easy. It's not easy. My family is scattered. It's not nice. But and some people will say, no, apologize or whatever. Look, I was in Zambia myself, and I did raise my hands. I raised my hand. I've stopped all these things. I left talking about politics. I stopped talking about politics, and I started selling roofing sheets. I started selling roofing sheets. Because you people forget easily. And I'm responding to some of you who like to say, no, just apologize, just humble yourself. I was in the country, I humbled myself, I apologized, I even went to Livingstone. Some of you remember, I even went to Livingstone. I did what I could. I thought I did what I could. Even left, I stopped talking politics. I was selling roofing sheets and building material. But did the UPND let go of me? They didn't. They didn't. They even convicted me on an offense that I never committed. They even convicted me on an offense that I never committed. And they continued coming for me. And that's how I ended up leaving the country. That's how I ended up leaving the country. So, I am not that stupid. Because some of you think that I'm foolish, or I don't, I'm too proud. No. That humility that you are talking about, that apology that you are talking about, I did it when I was within the country. I did it. And the UPND never let go of me. I was talking to whoever you can think of. High, low, small, big, I spoke to them. But at the end of the day, they continued coming for me. So, I cannot come here and say, no, just because I come here, support Hakainde Hichilema, to say, no, Hakainde Hichilema didn't say this, and then tomorrow I'll be flying back to Zambia. No. So I know better, na papata. Mwilambona kwati, nshtontonkanya bwino bwino, ndatontonkanya bwino bwino sana. So, area shiro, but as much as I'm feeling like this, the tintampo kubepesha wa Hakainde Hichilema, ina ishibepesha ufi wa Hakainde Hichilema. I don't lie. No, I don't. I only express myself. But where Hakainde Hichilema has done something wrong, I will speak and I criticize. But where he has not done something bad, I think it is not fair, again, to accuse him of something that he has not done. And I'm speaking about it, I'm responding, because it is very important. You cannot tell the people that Hakainde Hichilema is saying that we will not have elections next year. That is very dangerous. Oh, that is not good. That is not good. So please, Napapata, spread this message. Let people hear that the president didn't say that. Napapata. Anyway, so moving on. I want to talk about this issue of Vakapukola. The police. They're talking about the issue of the police. So earlier on, I started talking about the extrajudicial killing and the theft of the so-called C5s. I criticized the gunning down of suspected criminals, and I'm emphasizing suspected criminals, because it has become common now that people are being gunned down in the name of, no, they are criminals. People are, and no one is even questioning. No one is even questioning. Not even no one. Maybe I'm just speaking that in general. A lot of people are not questioning. Are not questioning, because people are just being killed like wild animals. And they're just saying, mark criminals. And once they do that, once the police just say they are criminals, we even start celebrating. We even start posting on social media. We even start mocking these people that have been killed. But I started talking about it to say, look, we need to question the police when they gun down people in cold blood. We need to question it. We shouldn't just take it for granted that, no, because Vakapokola, they have said he's a criminal, he's a criminal. I have reliable information of a number of people that have been killed by the police who are not criminals. I have reliable information of a number of people that have been caught in the crossfire of police firing shots, live bullets, and people are caught up. These are facts. It's not everyone that has been brought out as a criminal, that has been shot down by the police to say he's a criminal. No, it's not all of them. It's not. We have a number of innocent people that have been gunned down by the police. And yet we celebrate to say, yes, criminals have been gunned down. It's good. I am still emphasizing that we need to investigate these instant justice that has been carried by police officers in different areas. I still insist that we need to do an investigation, an independent investigation on how these people were shot down, to establish indeed if they were criminals, and indeed if it was necessary, for the police to fire those live bullets to gun them down. Because even if somebody is a criminal, criminality in Zambia, is not punished by death. No. Criminality in Zambia is not punished by death. Let alone, live bullets in public. No. That is not how we punish criminality, whatever criminality that you are talking about. We removed death penalty. But when we remove death penalty, and we have now given guns and bullets to the police officers to go and start slaughtering suspected criminals. I'm emphasizing suspected criminals. What have we done? We remove death penalty and we give guns and bullets, go and shoot. And people are being killed. Almost every week we are having an incident of police gunning down somebody. This is not right. This is not right. It is not right. And I say this, I speak from a human point of view. If you want, you can elevate that as a Christian, because we are a Christian nation. And as a Christian nation, surely we should not be disrespecting life in the way that our police are doing it. You you get excited. No, yes, yes, no, no, they should be killed. They should be killed. The question that I have is that, are you really sure that all those people that they are telling you that they are criminals, they are criminals? I sympathize to victims of criminality. I sympathize with you. I know people have suffered gravely at the hands of criminals. I totally understand. And I sympathize with those people. But that does not justify the absolute power that is being given to the police, where they can just shoot people anyhow, and after that, they just say, these are criminals. No. No. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It is wrong. It is wrong. Apart from that fact, we have another situation. A situation where these very C5s are engaged in criminality. Some of the police officers engaged in criminality. And to cover themselves, they shoot their conspirators. They shoot their accomplices. And, you know, put the bundle of crime in their around their necks and say, these are the ones. These are the ones, and yet they are also involved. We need to be realistic and open our eyes to some of these police officers who are actually engaged in criminality. We need to be alive to this fact that some of our police officers, they are engaged in criminality. And they are shooting down their accomplices in the guise of, you know, killing these criminals, and yet they are just hiding their criminality. This is a reality. We saw recently where those, you know, that Zimbabwean guy was robbed of huge sums of money by the so-called C5s. And this is not the first time. We have had a number of times where C5 or some other police officers are engaged in criminality. So with this reality, this overwhelming evidence before us, why do we want to just to be naive and take everything that the police tell us to say these are criminals? Why do we want to do that? Why don't we want to take time to interrogate the facts? So it is not that I'm giving an excuse to criminals. No, I'm not encouraging criminality. But I'm saying, can we do things accordingly? If somebody has stolen, I'm not saying he should be spared. Let him be arrested. I was happy when I saw those guys who attacked the truck driver. And the following day, you know, some guys were arrested. That is how it should be. That is how it should be. They should be arrested and taken to court, and after the end of the day, let them go to prison. That is what is supposed to be. That is what is our law saying. That is what our law is saying. So that is what I'm propagating for. That is what I'm advocating for. But some of you know, no, Tayali, whatever. You even keep tagging me when something wrong happens. Hey, you see, Tayali, these are the people that you support. I'm not supporting criminality. I don't support criminality. And you see, these things that you like to say, some of these wrong things that you support, I keep saying, no, Shalimu wakabamu. No, Shalimu wakabamu. You'd never listen. Laura Miti just posted an article this morning where she was caught up in the abuse of the police officers. Okay, and from my understanding is that Laura Miti is still human. She's a human rights commissioner. That is my understanding. But somebody posted to say no, she resigned. I hope somewhere, somehow, this can be clarified. has Laura Miti resigned as a human rights commissioner? Has she resigned? Because somebody posted on my page to say she resigned last week. That is the information that I got on that page. I tried to reach out to Laura Miti to ask her if indeed she resigned or not. She didn't respond. Can some of you find out and give us a true position? Has Laura Miti resigned as a human rights commissioner? Because I remember I also spoke about her a few days ago, when I saw an article written by the UPND where they are complaining, they are calling her a hypocrite, that she's part of the government, okay? She's eating with both hands. And in a way, I agreed with that article. Much as I appreciate what Laura Miti, the criticism that Laura Miti has been giving. But the point is that, if you are a presidential appointee, you cannot be the one to be attacking the president in public. It just doesn't go. It doesn't go. Even if it's freedom of expression, no, tefo fivomba. It doesn't work out like that. Even in America, it doesn't work out like that. You can never be a presidential appointee and yet you are criticizing the person that appointed you. It doesn't work out like that. Because it simply means you are casting a vote of no confidence in a person that appointed you. And if you are casting a vote of no confidence in a person that appointed you, why are you in that position? You should resign first. You should resign first. You cannot criticize a president who has appointed you. I'm not saying that, no, she's wrong in her criticism. She could be very right in her criticism. She could be very right in her criticism. And I actually agree with her on some of the criticisms that she brings across. I actually agree with her on some of the criticism that she brings across. But you can't be criticizing the president who appointed you when you have been appointed by that person. Unfortunately, you can't. Because if you are doing that, you are saying, this guy doesn't think properly. This guy's leadership is not a good leadership. And yet you are part of that leadership. When you are appointed by a president, unfortunately, you become part of that leadership. If you accept an appointment from the president, it simply means you are endorsing that this person is okay. Otherwise, you shouldn't accept that appointment. You can't. You can't accept that appointment. A presidential appointee cannot in turn be criticizing the president in public. You have to do it within the structures of government somehow. You have to do it within the structures of government. Otherwise, leave the structures of government. Don't be part of government. And then you can criticize better. That's why some of us, we don't plead for jobs in government because we don't want to be tied. When you are part of government, it's difficult for you to criticize. How can you criticize? How can you criticize? It doesn't matter at which point you are. When you are just part of government, you're part of government. You're part of government. Not even those who work in companies owned by government can turn around and start criticizing the same government. It doesn't work out like that. Unfortunately, that is just what it is. So, I criticized Laura Miti based on that. But if she has resigned, then I can withdraw that position that I gave, because then I was criticizing her wrongly if she has already resigned. But I reached out to her. She didn't respond to me. So I'm putting it out to you to say, can you please give me that information? Has Laura Miti resigned from the Human Rights Commission? Is she no longer a commissioner? So that tomorrow when I see a criticism coming from Laura Miti, I will not be able to say, why are you criticizing the same government that appointed you? Because she would have resigned. She would have resigned. But anyway, she found herself caught up in the police abuse. And some of you are saying, no, but it's not Laura Miti. Well, from the article, my understanding is that she runs this business. She runs this business, whether she's alone or with people, but she is part of this business, and they have got workers, and these workers, they are being arrested, or the business is being victimized by the police, because police are going there at night arresting, particularly in this case she mentions the workers. And of course she also alluded to the fact that the police were going around arresting people in the compounds, and these people are being brought to the police. Now, this is quite common. The issue of shishita is quite common. I have received a number of people complaining about shishita, but I want to be honest that I have never been caught under shishita myself. So I don't know really how it works. I don't know how it works. I don't know how these people are identified. I don't know how these people are identified. So I don't want to speak like I know everything. This is why I said, those of you who are in the compounds, can you call in and tell us how this shishita is working? I already saw some people are saying, no, shishita is very good. She's appreciating it. No, let the police wait. So, okay, fine. If it is good, I mean, then we shouldn't criticize it. But what I wonder myself is, because if you are going to arrest people at a particular time, what time do you start arresting people who are walking? What criteria do you use? Because some people, they come from work. Just like Laura Mite complained. Some people are coming from work. Some people are coming from, drinking. It's not a crime to drink at night. So I wonder, how do the police, identify who to be arrested? And how do they let go of others? And what about those who drive cars? Because you still see cars moving up and down in the night. Does it mean that when you drive a car, then shishita does not apply to you, or curfew does not apply to you? And this curfew, what time does it start? Where are the police getting? Because again, I thought that shishita is called during the time of emergencies by the president, by the way. During the time of emergencies, it's only the president that has got powers to impose shishita or curfew on the citizens. So if the police are going out there, where are they getting the authority? What's going on around this? And this is something that I was hoping that I could get some comments from people. How is this working? Shishita is for people who walk, not people in cars. So what's the difference? What's the difference? What's the difference? So if you have got a car, then the police should not arrest you. What's the difference? What's wrong in walking then? What is wrong in walking? Can I have some phone calls? Can I have people coming in? I know it's not a good time. And of course, I know also some topics are not interesting, but some of these topics which are very important, we don't seem to pay attention to them, but they are very important. But that's why sometimes I bring the nonsense. I bring the nonsense, and people are happy to discuss that. People are happy to discuss that. And somebody gets upset. Oh, but why are you bringing this? At your age, you're bringing this. What about your children? And come on, you like talking about my children. My children are far much better than most of you. Look at my children. My children are far much better. Far much better than just yourselves. So You have got no right to start talking about my children. Hey, your children, your children. Just yourself. You won't see my children talking uselessly on social media. You won't see them engaging in nonsense on social media. You won't see them. You won't see them. Because I've taught them well. I have taught them well. They have got what they concentrate on. They have got what they concentrate on. They watch what is happening on social media. Yes, they are alive to what is happening on social media. But you won't see them engaging in petty debates because that's not for them. This is for me. This is my life. And they understand what I'm doing. They understand, my objective. So, it's useless for you to talk about my children. My children, you won't be arguing with them on social media with that empty. They have no time. They have got what they concentrate on. It is some of you who have, and me, I know what I'm doing. I know why I'm here. I know why I'm discussing what I'm discussing. So for me, this is business. This is achieving an objective. Shishita is loitering. Is simply loitering. Loitering what? Loitering what? Just moving up and down. If you're moving up and down, you've got nowhere you're going. Then you should be arrested. What if you are like me here, who is living alone? I'm living alone. At night, I can't sleep. And then I decide to take a walk around. I want to walk around for 30 minutes. Should I be arrested? I live alone. I get bored. I can't sleep in the night. So I decide to step outside and walk around. Should I be arrested? Should I be arrested? I used to do that. Here I don't do that. But at home, in Zambia, when I can't sleep or for whatever reason I want to clear my mind, I would get into my car and I just start driving around. I don't even have where I'm going. I'm just driving around to clear my head. And no one arrested me. Stopped me and say, hey, where are you going? You are loitering. Hello?
Good afternoon, boss.
Good afternoon.
Yes, sir. So I think the issue of Shishita is not a bad idea. I don't know what the complaint is by the so-called complainant that was complaining. Because the whole purpose of doing Shishita, because, those days there was a tendency of, these are the so-called junkies, because they used to take advantage of these, late times, if there's a function during, let me say, there's a check function, maybe having math at night, they will take advantage of times for people who are working. And, there are people who are coming from a bar, going home late, 2 hours, they'll be attacked at night, they'll be killed. So I think they're coming up with Shishit. I think they made a time to say, I think it's above 23, 24 hours. Those awkward times, if you are found, walking without a proper explanation from where you're coming from, the police will pick you the very night, then you sleep in the cells. Then the following morning, it's a must. You have to go. Though there's a charge, there's a fee that there's a 50 kwacha fee that you need to pay. It's only if you don't have an explanation where you're coming from. And this is the reason why they advise, if you're having a mass at church or you're having a party, you have to take that party or that mass will end at an awkward time. You have to get permission from the police. The reason why they do so is because, in case, they are patrolling at night and they find you, then you expect them coming from this stage, this is not the most. that church has already taken a permission and they are aware of that. So that is the issue. That is the whole point of Ishita.
I think you have explained quite well. I think you have explained quite well.
Yes.
I think you have explained quite well. I think I get the point. So it is basically to say, I mean, if you are moving at a very awkward, and usually it starts after what, 23, 24, isn't it?
Yes.
23,
Yes.
24.
So it's not, yes, 23, 24 somewhere. Those awkward times. So the whole purpose is, unless if you've got a reasonable explanation to say, okay, I've knocked off late from work and you've got the proof for that. Because you can't tell who is a criminal and who is not a criminal. You can't tell who is an abductor and who is not an abductor. So only if you don't have a proper explanation, that's when they will beat you. They won't beat you. They won't, put you in the cells maybe for a week. What? It's only for that particular night. So it's a good thing because there are people where maybe they're going very far. Sometimes they because I'm also a victim of Shishita. So there was a night that they picked me, but they didn't put me in the cell. They escorted me home with the same Land Cruiser. Yes. So the whole purpose is just to protect the citizens. So it's not a bad thing. No, it's a quite good thing.
No, I think from my point of view, I hear you, and thank you very much, my brother. I think that is a very helpful explanation. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. You're welcome, boss. Thank you so much.
No, I think that makes sense from the explanation. Even the issue of saying that because many times also, especially as politicians, we like to say no, we don't have to notify the police. We don't have to notify the police, but it's true. Sometimes it's for our own security. It's for our own security. So I think that explanation is a good one. It's understandable. Like I said, I'm dragging myself. I don't have, my usual energies. So I think I've made my points. I'll leave it here for now. Thank you very much.